guys, welcome back, and we're going to open up the box and build my desk. So, yeah, first things first though, I always like to work in a clean environment, so I'm gonna sweep up. Got my broom over here. Boom, there we go. Nice clean swept floor. Now to open the box. I've decided to use the kitchen knife because not everything you should use for the wood cutter, the handsaw. Yeah. So I'm going a little smaller. I'm going to use the kitchen knife to open this guy. Now normally when you get it open, stuff like this, it's easy to open the entire box. They got tape all around three sides. But you know what? This box might be able to be useful for something. So I'm going to just leave it all taped together. And maybe I'll use it for a craft project or something. It does make it more difficult to get things out though, I'll tell you what. Well, got everything out, made sure to dig deep down inside. Oh, one more box to open, but yeah, this could make a nice little craft project. Maybe I'll use this as my stock for that one video I want to shoot together. You guys, I'll tell you when you see it, but I gotta cut this box open. I'm not sure what's keeping these two parts together, but they seem to be stuck. Oh, static, that's it. Aha! Found them. You always want to make sure to look at your directions, because stuff like this, it's not an direction. I'm just kidding. They got everything labeled nice and neat. Mainly I like to look at this just because sometimes it's a little tricky figuring out where each of these little screws and bolts go. So yeah. It also tells you kind of like, oh shoot, do you need an Allen wrench? Oh, they give you an Allen wrench, okay. But I will need a Phillips. You always want to look through this to see what tools you need so you aren't stuck there with a hand in the air when you're looking for a screwdriver. Alright, let's do this. Inventory list. Yeah, it's all there. One thing I really like about this stuff is that it comes with all the tools you need, actually. A little screwdriver, a little Allen wrench. I remember back home, getting furniture like this and putting it together, I'd always have a big stock of all these little tools and stuff. You usually don't end up using it ever again, but it's nice to have. And if you ever move, you can take your furniture apart easy. So don't throw away those tools, even if you do have it, because you never know when something small like that will come in handy. It's interesting that they have all 4 wheels labeled. Even though... Oh, never mind, they aren't the same. The front ones have locks on them, so that you can lock your thing in place if you don't want to have your desk moving around. Whew, let's get warm up here. I'm going to actually open this window behind me. Sorry for the lighting. It has to be done. I feel you guys would be a lot less traumatized had I turned on the fan and opened a window versus me taking my shirt off. No one needs to see that. Now with these bolts, you want to make sure that you got them seated nice and properly. Not only for ease of use, so that you can get the bolt all the way in, but this bolt makes it easy for you to adjust for heights. They have different ergonomics. My ergonomic height for my keyboard is 68. It's one of the reasons we bought this desk, is because it was the closest to my ergonomic size. It's the biggest one that they had. It was at 66 centimeters high. And like I said, I needed 68. I went online and found out what would work best for ergonomic, you know, settings, keyboards, screen height, and everything. And when you're working a lot with computers, it's really important to keep in mind where your body's at, because you don't want to spend all day working on something on the computer or even just relaxing and then end up having a sore neck or sore back or sore arms. It really can cause a lot of issues if you're in a wrong position for a long period of times. Also, this little this little wrench is not very fun. It likes to slip. Ugh. I may end up going to my own tools. Yeah, I'm going to my own tools. Now for these, I'm seating them all the way down to the bottom, so that when I actually get the desk set up, then I'll go down and adjust all four wheels. Because I have no idea right now what the height will be once I get everything together. So that's really important. It's just to set everything down to the very bottom, and then you can adjust all the heights later. When you're adjusting heights back, when you're doing the floor, it's going to be on the ground, it's going to be tight, so you want to make sure that you have all four at the same level. It'd be really embarrassing if you guys weren't on. I always worry about these longer videos, like, shoot, did I hit the button? I'm hoping so. Maybe I should. No, I'll leave you guys. If you're not on, I'll just show you the finished product. It'll make this video a lot shorter. We're at our step where we have we actually are opening up this boat package now. One thing different that I don't know if it's more expensive furniture that, you know, in America if they do this, but I know most of the furniture I've always bought in America has little bags instead of boxes like this. It saves in trash size, which is something that I think that they would be thinking about over here. But again, this desk was made in China, so I'm not really sure if that has anything to do with it. But I'm trying to be very careful when I'm opening this. I don't want to spill everything. Now first I'm just loosely putting everything together on the bottom here. And once I have the structure set up, I'm going to go ahead and go around and tighten everything. This is more or less just making sure everything stands and fits together well. Just tighten everything by hand and then go around and tighten everything little bit by little bit. You don't want to tighten it too tight and then find out that by tightening it all that way, it's not going to fit together anymore. Sometimes these, I think this is aluminum, sometimes these aluminum things need to be kind of set gentle first and then you tighten it because it'll shift the whole project. Okay, got everything now loosely put together. Now all I have to do is go around and tighten everything. You don't want to tighten it too tight because, like I said, these things like to shift a little bit. We still have the top to put on, we still have the keyboard thing to put on, and yeah, all that has to fit together nicely. And if we're shifting stuff, if this aluminum bends underneath the pressure of the bolt, it won't all fit together real nice, and you'll have to end up either loosening back up or like really wrenching it. And we don't want to do that. Alright, now got all that tight. I think the wheels might be locked. But now we're just going to throw on the countertops. I think. I'm starting to go off the directions. Let me look. No, we don't go off the countertops. We now have these things to put on. It's for a shelf that goes on later. This thing also came with a power plate. That's one thing I almost forgot about. Was install the power plate. That's going to go on the back here, which will then connect to those other two poles that make the shelf. Yeah, one thing I definitely don't like about this cardboard setup is that the numbers are on the inside of the cardboard, and when you open up the cardboard, it's really difficult. You end up ripping the letters off, and you have to look on the bottom, see what you have. Plus, when you're opening stuff, others like to fall out, so... yeah. Alright, well, got that covered on now. It's time to go ahead and throw on these tall boys for the shovel. These do have varying heights. I'm not sure what I want, so I'm going to put it as its highest height for now. If I want to change it later, I'll bring it back down. Now remember, keep these things loose because you don't know how the countertops will fit. Sometimes the holes aren't exactly screwed straight. So I left a little shift movement in there so I can put the top on and shift it if I need to. And I'll tighten it after I got the countertops on. So it's good to go back and look through your instructions. Make sure that you're on track and you're not getting ahead of yourself. I know I like to take off and start running with a project without actually going through this and end up missing a step or two. One of the rollers had the ball bearings too far ahead, so I'm going to have to go ahead and yank on it and pull it until it fits back into where it's supposed to go so that I can have the keyboard come all the way out instead of get stuck after a certain while. Pulling that bar out also allowed me to make sure I can get my fingers in there to put the screw in. Otherwise it would have been impossible. Alright, well, desk complete. There's one more piece here, little floorboard. Not sure if I want to put that in there. I like to have my feet to be able to go past this bar probably. We'll see. If I want to, I'll throw this on there, but there is no need for me to put this in here right now. It'll probably keep me from like bending these aluminum bars, but we'll just leave it out. One last thing before I finish off and go around and tighten everything. They did have the washers in a different area, and so yeah, I'm going to have to go around and all the bolts that needed washers, I'm going to go put those in. A lot of them are like the aluminum on aluminum washers, keep you from, when you tighten it too much, keep you from bending it and having it sink in. So I'm going to make sure to put all that in before I tighten it. But yeah, as for that, I think it's all done. By going around and taking every bolt out that needed a washer, I'm also able to go ahead and reset everything. Now I'm not saying that this is something you should do. You should always try to remember the washer in the first place. But it is always allowing me to jostle things around a little bit and make sure they're all fitting well. And there we go. All put together. It's always good to make sure that you double check all your parts. A lot of times they don't send a lot of extra parts. They send just the right amount. So if you find yourself with some extra parts, you better go through your instructions again and find out if you miss a step. Other than that, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys had a fun time. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below. I'm pretty good at getting back to you. So you guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Spastic Golden and Elmer Fudd. No. Oh, the stickers are on the bag! Gotta watch out. Wear a hard hat when working on this stuff.